Welcome to Epic Tales and Critical Fails, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Remastered podcast. Prepare for adventure, terror, and the occasional use of bad language. We're a rules-light podcast. We don't agonize over the rules because, quite frankly, there's a lot of them, and we will get them wrong occasionally, so be kind. We're also using hero points slightly differently. No one gets them at the beginning of a session. Instead, the players accrue them during the game, and they can have a maximum of 3 at any one time. But if the worst happens, they have to spend them all to stay alive.
I'm Laura, and I play Katarra, a sneaky, stealthy sailor, or pirate, depending on your point of view.
I'm Lucy, and I play Bethilde, landlady of the Wandering Barnacle and grandmotherly gnome.
I'm Mike, and I play Bertie Bunce, halfling cleric of Pharasma.
I'm Maddy, and I play Minesh Adon, a tempestuous root leshy of death.
I'm Kyle, I play the vastly knowledgeable and cunningly clever Xander Dante.
And I'm Michael, I'm your GM, and I play everybody else. We left you all in the Spiral Shrine, recovering, recuperating, and fangirling, having made a foray into the Grislyfair and getting your butts kicked by some Mortics who were trying to perform a showstopper as a circus. You've now had a chance to rest, heal up. Dietzia has bound some of your wounds, the cleric of Pharasma who you met at the Spiral Shrine. You've heard a sermon by Lady Neferpatra, drunk some tea, learned some things about your companions, Katarra and Bethilde, and now wake up fresh the next morning, most of you sleeping in a bed, one of you sleeping on the floor, and one of you sleeping in a chair.
You slept in the chair?
Ulti slept in a chair.
No, because I slept on the floor so she could have the bed.
But she pointedly refused.
No, she said she'd take the bed.
And then sat in the chair.
Wow.
You're sleeping on the floor for nothing.
So I could have taken the bigger bed.
She probably would have nudged you to take it.
Yes.
So you wake up
Thank
with
you,
Bertie.
Katarra.
You wake up with Bertie in the bed, and Ulti just with her, just sat there with her feet up on the smaller bed.
Ulti's so cool.
So you all...
That only came about because of me.
Yeah, I've met so many good people since leaving home. It's been
You
great.
left home like yesterday.
And it's going so well.
It's only been 3 days, Master Bunce.
If you'd known this, you would have left when he was 30.
So you all wake up, gather together. Some more tea is delivered to the little sitting room with all of its pictures of psychopomps on the walls and the roaring fire. What do you intend to do?
So, Bethilde wakes up, and as she wakes up, she notices sitting on the end of the bed is a small snail who looks like Beauregard, but kind of a bit different. And she's like, and it just sort of like coughs. It's like, all right, Beauregard. Have you not slept very well? Oh no!
I know I didn't.
Beauregard does not sound very healthy.
Beauregard is dead. Xander's not like looking, he's just kind of still lying in the hammock.
So as you say that, Beauregard like swells up to his normal size, like his normal big size, and like his eyes stalk swivel to look at you, and you notice that this snail looks distinctly unwell. Unlike Bethilde, who looks like much better, like he now looks like you can't believe this thing's like alive. It's sort of like
Zombie snail.
weirdly, not quite
Withered,
not quite dead, but more like
dry.
sick, like sort of pale and like weirdly lumpy and sort of a bit gross. And some bits look a bit too slimy, and some bits are probably a bit too dry.
Xander was like in the hammock, couldn't see. He's like lifted his head up, hearing this like weird coughing sound, and as soon as like he sees, he's like, "Shit!" falling out of the hammock.
It's got his eyes are
I
slightly.
said from the start I was in a hammock.
He did say
His eyes are slightly bloodshot. There's cracks running over the shell. He looks like he's been out in the desert for a week.
So you know, like when people have got like when your friends invite around and they've got like one of those really, really old dogs that just like walks in the room and they're just like. And they're like, oh, I'm really sorry, it's blind and incontinent and it's got no fur and it's got the mange and it's got fleas and it's disgusting and it's just,
Yeah,
but
we've all
it's
been
really
there.
cute. And the dog's just there, just like,
What friends do you have with these dogs?
Should we call the RSPCA?
I literally had a friend who had a dog like that was blind and deaf. So he'd just walk into the room and try and work out if you were there. So we'd all just stop moving so it wouldn't like go away because it was all like warty and like
To be-
greasy and
I have had
disgusting.
that experience.
Yeah, and he just walked in and would like a, and you just like freeze. And
You
then
make
it'd,
it sound like
and
a
then it just,
xenomorph from
walk-
Alien.
Yeah, and then I'm pretty sure it was like not. I don't know what was wrong with that thing.
Amazing.
So yeah, that in snail form.
You had a friend, past tense, because you've just outed them on a podcast.
As has Maddy.
Yes, you see this rather unwell-looking snail who just his eyes are bloodshot, and he looks at you with the bloodshot eyes. He's kind of like,
What is that?
It's Beauregard. I think
It's not Beauregard's dead. My big Beauregard. No.
Minesh, is there anything that you can do to help this thing? Because I think this is beyond my
Put it out, put it out to its mercy.
Xander,
he
Minesh
just sort of
kind
pet like Bethilde's just like petting him, and it's like gross. It's even worse now that you see her petting him.
Can you, like-
You're like,
Oh.
Before when you pet it was like slimy. Can you like,
It's like-
when you pet it, can you hear the
Minesh
it
wanders
goes
over.
from petting sandpaper to petting water.
Oh my god!
Donald Duck?
Can Minesh roll for nature or something?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I try to assist with
Yes, you can.
medical advice?
Roll medicine.
Thank you, Bertie. Nature is.
Can I roll a fortitude to make
26.
sure I don't throw up?
Roll a fortitude saving throw.
17.
17. That's a success. You get +1.
Natural one!
Xander rolls out of his hammock, and you just hear him go.
Has he got the same thing as Beauregard?
Xander, be sick out of the room. You're not helping.
It's too late.
Oh, the smell.
You're the snail.
Minesh, what did you get?
27.
27. You think this isn't just a physical malaise. This is some kind of spiritual malaise that this snail is suffering that's causing it to wither. It's withering magically. It's not even sick in the true sense of the word. It is magically withered, and there's a sense to it that its own vitality, its own life essence is attempting to reach out and pull life from the surrounding creatures towards it. Almost as if it's trying to siphon in energy to restore itself.
So if Bertie and I were to heal it with treat wounds, it wouldn't work because it needs magical healing.
You think that treat wounds wouldn't really help it.
What about if I use a focus spell to make a berry?
You could certainly try it, but you don't know how much.
Is this-
effect
You
it
do
would
know-
have.
Is this
that,
thing
like-
like an energy parasite right now? Am I reading that right? Or
It seems to be. It's almost like there's this energy that's coming off of this animal that's questing out to try and see if there's any sources around it that it can pull towards it.
like since you were sick, it sort of Beauregard looks slightly perkier.
So it kind of
Great.
sucks the life force.
okay, yes. So can I roll Arcana and see if what type of energy
Yeah, go
it
for
would
it.
need?
What is this snail?
Oh, you're still such a cutie, aren't you? There, come on, Beauregard.
22.
22. I mean, you're pretty convinced now that this snail is likely a familiar. You've seen her cast enough magic and act enough creepy stuff. You're probably a witch, but you reckon it's a familiar. So that explains how it's reappeared, because witches' familiars come back daily if they get destroyed. It's functionally immortal. However, what you know magically that a witch's familiar usually personifies some kind of element of the magic she has. Yesterday, that snail had a clover on its shell. Now it looks like it's dying. That's weird and a change. A
I will-
significant magical change.
Xander clearing his mouth and looking at the snail, and he'll just keep this to himself, but also make a note that he needs to look into this, possibly.
It's okay, Beauregard. We'll fix you up. Like, let's have a look. And I'm going to sort of like search in my bag and find like a really sweet little hat to put on him.
Beauregard
and then make him look better.
Beauregard
like a little
curves
beret.
his tail round and rubs under his chin in kind of the approximation of somebody rubbing their nose.
Can I cast cornucopia and feed Beauregard the berry?
You feed Beauregard the berry, and for a moment, Beauregard pokes up and he looks a little bit more uniformly slimy. The shell seems a little bit healthier, and then after about a minute, Beauregard looks withered again.
Oh, Bertie, I think this is beyond even I.
I mean, Bethilde, how do you feel about it?
It's all right. I mean, we've all felt a little bit funny in the morning after a late night. I assume that's why we didn't find him. Have you been off on the razzle, you naughty boy?
I had a ship's cat that came in looking like that once.
That's no
Did it
way
live?
to talk about me.
No, it wasn't you. It was before you. It was pre-you. That was why we didn't have a ship's cat. No, it came in. One leg was sort of dragging behind it. Fur was hanging out. Teeth missing. One eye gum shut. No, I took me hatchet and ended it.
And then
It got
Katarra.
better because it was dead.
and then Katarra was reborn in a new body.
Possibly.
No, I was not
The cat
formerly a
returns.
cat.
You could have been.
Was
You don't
drawn to
know.
the sea.
Possibly.
You could have been absolutely anything, dude.
I've never really considered that you might have been the previous ship's cat that I euthanized with a hatchet.
No, I'm pretty sure I was, as I am. in
Is this
terms of
version an
physical-
improvement?
Well, this ship's cat has been much better at firing cannons.
Ah.
And fighting things and
Yep.
stabbing things.
You're very good at stabbing things.
I am very
I don't
good.
think
Learn
it-
from the best.
I don't think it was fair to expect a normal cat to do those things, to be fair.
Look, I've read the story of Puss in Boots. We're in a world where dragons exist. Come on, cats can fight. Have you ever met a cat folk? It's not my fault.
No.
There wasn't one.
Well, you hope it wasn't one, otherwise you've committed infanticide.
Well, if it was one, it looked really sick, so I put it out of its misery.
I mean, what about healing? Do you not
I'm
have?
not
Does it
Very-
look like it can heal?
But there
He's
must be
not a
someone
doctor.
on the ship that would be able to
Damn it, I'm
heal.
not a doctor.
I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Look, I can put it out of its misery for you."
Yeah, ship's doctors are not.
Haven't you ever met a ship's doctor? His best friend and first point of call
Is the
for all
hatchet.
treatment is his saw blade.
My
Yeah.
God, and they call me ruthless.
I mean, I've had many friends who lost a leg.
Ruthless.
Look, you might be rootless,
Which
But-
is why you're journeying with us.
which is kind of why you're wandering around. But we got a plan for today, fellas.
Well, I'm absolutely starving. Let's get some breakfast.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Mr. Bunce, you seem very disappointed by that.
I think we need to go sort out this carnival malarkey, then check out the school next to it.
What
and
school?
then there's a school next to it that also might have some things to check out. Well, while we're here, might as well see what's about.
We're not here for sightseeing. We're here to get
Xander.
a job done and leave.
We'll see
I'm
how we're
fairly
feeling.
sure we're supposed to like help these people, and there's like death and decay and
we
destruction.
were helping Barnaby.
Yeah, I've been Barbie to figure out what's happening.
I'm fairly sure he mentioned something about a school.
Ed, you did.
Roll a perception check.
gaslit.
Too many campaigns.
Nah.
You fundamentally believe all of them that Barnaby mentioned to school.
Yes.
So-
See,
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
We'll go do the Grislyfair, see how we're feeling, take it from there. Because, I mean, let's not plan too far ahead because we're not so
Well,
good at
I
stuff.
mean-
I feel-
I agree we not plan too far ahead, but perhaps we plan not to get into the same amount of trouble we did last time.
I
Head
can't
first.
promise that.
Well, sometimes, being aggressive and fighting things is not the only solution.
You know
I-
what, Bertie? I like your lead on this, so I will follow you to where you say. And if you think that I should not go head first into something, I will allow you to be the
Head firster.
yeah.
Excellent.
Or you can direct me. It's fine.
I was about to say, so far we've proven we're not so good at making plans, and maybe we should ask the person who we found surrounded by enemies to make the plan for us.
Look, maybe we should have a safe word for Minesh. Like, Minesh, it's time to go to work.
Like, Death Leshy. Go.
Yeah.
Sick of boy.
Death Leshy, I choose you.
I have only given Bertie the right.
Okay. I will with great power comes great responsibility. I truly appreciate this trust you've placed in me.
Did you get those words from your uncle?
Who died?
Oh, my dark past.
Uncle Benny undid.
But our plan is to go back to where we last left off, right? And then
Yes, back into the Grislyfair, but as I say, let's try not to get ourselves killed.
I mean,
this
how are we supposed to
time.
have a fight without a full breakfast starting up the day?
Yes, but as I said, being aggressive and just fighting things, there's more than one way to fight something. It
Feels
doesn't
like
have
you
to
can
be
see-
with weapons.
Feels like he sees Xander like he stopped talking for a while. He's just kind of like really thinking to himself, like, I don't remember being told to go do, but I guess that
you
they
love
can't
school.
all be wrong.
You're all about education.
Right, true, but whatever.
I thought you had a notebook. You
tell you
really should
what.
write things down.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Actually, he pulls out the
of
notebook,
course, you could have
pulls
to
out
do
the
the same
pen,
thing.
writes on it, turns the thing around. Go fuck yourself.
Well, that's rather rude.
Hey, Governor, shall I cut his hand off for that? He won't be able to cast any spells.
Yes, which we kind of need him to be able to cast spells.
Won't be able to write in his diary either.
Tuppence.
It's
Dear
such a
diary, dear diary, today I made really bad dick jokes.
Oh God! Look, I don't think there should be any violence towards each other. We're working as a team
Just
now.
others.
Wait,
I
Yes, we just
agree.
have to remember to work as a team.
wait.
in
We'll
the
get
The
there.
Death Leshy has just told me not to be violent to anyone.
In our group,
Oh, right.
even I have standards.
Okay. I beg your pardon, Your Highness.
Well, if you're not going to feed me, let's get this over with. So maybe I can get a hot dog at the fair.
Right. Well, there probably is food. As you start walking down the hallway, you bump into Deetia, who's got some toast.
Ah, Dippy. Hello, Dippy. Come along. Oh,
hello.
the toast. Is that for me?
Yeah, well, you can have some if you like.
Thank you.
Yes, if
You
get-
grab a few slices and start walking towards the door with it.
When did humans start toasting bread? Like, it feels like a modern invention, but
Well,
okay.
sliced bread wasn't invented till like the 1920s.
But then I
Just
assume that you
just
can-
slice.
I'm
Just,
sure-
no,
I'm
just
sure-
slice.
no,
Like,
I'm
they-
sure you
no,
can slice bread,
like you
though.
bite and it was already sliced. Like you just sliced the bread before. It wasn't like making a sandwich. You get like half a loaf on each side.
You just like toast an entire like loaf
Yeah.
of bread.
1893 was when the first toaster was invented.
Okay.
Yeah, but like they still toasted it over fire.
Yeah, over like a
It's like-
grill.
I mean, I suppose it's like is bannock.
It's still
It's
toast.
toast.
It's
The
still
exact
toast.
origins of toast are unclear, but it's likely a practice that dates back to the 6,000 years BC,
Yeah, because like if you've got
No.
stale,
where the ancient Egyptians made toast
Toasted flatbread.
by browning bread over a fire to prevent mold.
yeah,
Ah.
that's why it would be done.
There
Yeah.
you go. So there you go.
A little bit of history lesson for our fans listening.
Yes, yeah.
It will probably never come in handy.
The ancient
Yeah.
Greeks, the tradition of toasting may have originated with them in the 6th century BC as a way to praise their gods and wish each other good health.
Beauregard, get off the toast.
Well,
Which I'm not quite sure is accurate because it sounds like a mashup between toasting with alcohol and toasting bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
let's,
What if they were toasting with toast?
Who knows?
let's have a toast to Pharasma and head out on adventure then.
And Katarra drinks out of a hip flask.
Alcoholic.
Do you think we need any healing potions? Do you think we could get some of those round here?
I don't think there's a shop.
I mean, I have no money.
We'll be fine. We can heal each
You
other.
mentioned that. DT looks at you and goes, "This is a temple to Pharasma, not a temple to healing."
Ah, oh yes, of course, yes. Oh, bless you, Beauregard.
Beauregard, where did this snail come from? Did you find your snail?
Yes, this is
He looks
Beauregard.
very unhealthy.
It's still not well.
Oh no, I think he's just having a bad morning.
A bit of flu.
No, he's not been in a flu. He doesn't really like fire.
Okay. Have a
no,
nice
no.
day. She wanders
Yes,
off.
we will.
Wanders off with half the toast gone. So you leave the spiral shrine and make your way back to the Grislyfair. All of you roll survival checks.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Oh, I'm back.
8.
Tuppence rolls a natural 20.
7 for Bethilde. Oh, well, I need to roll for Beauregard.
18 for Minesh.
Bethilde starts going in the wrong direction.
9 for Katarra.
And 9 for Beauregard.
Bethilde, Beauregard, and Katarra all start heading in the wrong direction.
It's this way,
Oi,
guys.
oi. Come here.
I follow Minesh.
Xander.
Yeah, no violence within the group. That includes verbal violence. I have standards too, Minesh.
Perhaps we
Do I,
ought to...
do I
I
actually
went
catch
to
their
finishing
attention?
school.
Do I actually catch their attention to
Yeah,
turn
they
around?
turn around and then come back the other way.
No, I don't respond to Xander.
No,
Okay.
but
I'm
you do
not being
respond to
whistled
Minesh.
at or being
You do
like,
respond to
"Boys."
Minesh. You
Yeah,
look
yeah,
at
I
Minesh
respond to
pointedly and
Minesh,
like,
yeah.
okay, right, the wrong
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
You all head back to the Grislyfair and start weaving your way through the tents again. And eventually, as you retrace the destroyed automata, the fragments of robot that are scattered all over the floor, and eventually find your way back to the gibbet where you killed the Mortics, who have all, the bodies have disappeared, either devoured by local things, probably ghouls maybe, or they simply disintegrated. You have no idea. But there is still that burnt patch on the floor where the charred remains of Bethilde had once lain. But you forge on forward, and after a while, the rows of tents open into a flagstone quadrangle surrounded by a handful of stone and timber buildings. A rusted carousel slowly revolves in the middle of the quad, horses, unicorns, and stranger creatures chasing each other round in halting circles. The closest of the building looks like it was supposed to be a small manor house, but the upper floor has largely collapsed. A stomach-churning stench wafts from within the bleak, shadowed interior.
God, this smells as bad as the snow.
Rude.
It's not even right. The snail. You're just smelling the snail.
Now, in the interest of not charging in head first, should we charge in head first?
Yeah.
Just a minute. I'm gonna go up to the door and I'm gonna put my hands on the door and sort of like try and read the psychometric resonance of who might have.
Okay.
opened it.
Roll your check.
Katarra's going to stealth.
Roll your check. Yep.
What's Ulti doing?
Ulti at this point is standing next to you, looking down at you and go, Bertie, what are they doing?
Preparing, I guess, but
I'm not entirely sure I'm seeing anybody prepare by walking up to the door of a building that smells like that and rubbing it with their hands.
It doesn't have a check on it. It just
Okay.
Just do it.
You just have to be in contact with it.
Yeah.
So you stand there with your hands on the doorway, and
If it's horrible, if it's like a negative, I just take damage.
yeah, you feel pain, torture, intensity of just agony, and then adulation, excitement, hunger, sated.
So would that be enough to do the damage?
Not enough, no, because it goes from
It's not like
pain and suffering through
And then
to
back to-
sudden elation.
So
And as you open your eyes and finish, there's a face down at your level in front of you, desiccated and sucked in at the cheeks, two sharp teeth pointing out at you, red eyes, as it goes, "Hello, dear. Are you lunch?"
no, my name's Bethilde.
Well, you look like lunch to me. Hey,
Who's
fellas.
lunch?
Hey, fellas. Look, this little old dear's got some tasty morsels for us. Oh, and she's got friends, too.
I rolled a 22 on stealth.
Can I try?
I'm ready to attack.
Can I try to intimidate and shout to him? Oh, Toothy! Fuck off!
Roll intimidation.
That's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. The creature looks at you and is definitely shaken. He looks a bit tough.
Can
Is
I
he
tell
tough?
if these are undead?
Are you doing anything to determine that, or are you just sort of looking at them?
Perception, yeah.
Perception, yeah.
Bethilde would say, I don't know. I don't know what you think is going on here. We're here looking for some people. I don't think you're those people. Are you here to help us, you guides?
Come in, have a look. I've got many people here. Most of them are missing parts.
Batilda, be careful.
If she
18.
moves to go in even a little bit.
Looks like some form of undead. It's got the pallor of it. There's the stench of death and rotting flesh is coming out of that building. Not necessarily directly from this creature, but it definitely has an odor of something bad.
I cast Vitality Lash.
All right, go for it. It's a fortitude save, isn't it?
Fortitude saves.
That is going to be a 14.
The 18's my DC.
Yep, he fails.
So he is enfeebled 1 until the start of my next go. And takes 9 damage.
It burns. It burns. Fellas, run. They've got the magic. Run.
Can I roll to recall knowledge, see if I know what these are?
Yeah, roll a religion.
11.
11, you're not entirely sure. Look, it does look like some kind of undead, but you're not entirely sure.
Okay.
But this creature just suddenly withdraws back into the building. You just hear 5 sets of footsteps out the back,
So
rushing away. Yeah,
Okay.
they just seem to have run through the building, gone out the back way, and you can just hear their claws on the concrete out the back.
yeah. So Vitality Lash only damages if they're undead or have void healing.
He definitely took the damage.
Cool. So I stride forward, saying, "We need to kill these foul beasts."
You hear from out the back, "What's going on, Scarson?" "Oh, run, they've got the Bernie magic."
I think they're gone, Bertie.
Are
I would-
you
I
gone?
would-
Have you left?
I would pursue him.
You hear a
if I
voice
could.
coming from a long way away going, "Yeah, I've left. I'm running. I'm going. Bye. Goodbye."
Ooh, let's go. Let's go see if we can find these bodies.
You walk immediately in the building, and immediately in front of you is a pile of bodies that have
Oh, I
been
found the
chewed,
bodies.
that have been chewed and flayed, and they look like they've been rearranged at points. Like internal organs are missing. You're not sure whether they've been devoured by these creatures, and they were originally whole, or whether they were deposited here in some state of defilement before the ghouls got hold of them.
Do any of the body parts that have identifying bits like faces look like the people we're looking for?
They look like they would have had faces had they not been cut off.
Ah, that's a shame.
They've been flayed.
Xander will walk up to the house very cautiously. Just before he gets through to the actual door frame, can I cast Detect Magic in the general area to see if I'm finding anything around it?
Yeah, and there's no ping of magic in the area. Nothing in the area around the
Okay,
house.
so these are all like just creatures then, as opposed to like.
They look like
anything-
humanoids that have just... They were humanoids.
Okay.
Now they're just in some kind of state of decomposition and defilement.
Is there by this pile of now gore just in front, just by the door? Is there anything else around the layout, like is it an upstairs area or?
No, you step inside the door and you quickly realise that there's 2 rooms that are surviving on the ground floor. The stairwell is entirely blocked where the upper floor is collapsed, and the 2 other rooms that would be on the ground floor have been crushed when the upper floor fell through. So
Okay.
you walk into the second room and you realise that there's some straw and some clothing and other things that have been dragged together, parts of the tents that are in the surrounding streets that have been made into a nest of some description where these creatures seem to be sleeping. And there is a gaping hole that leads out to the back of the building, and they've probably run down that street. Bertie, are you chasing them?
I would have been, yeah.
So you're running, and you can see Bertie running down the street.
How big of a gap have they gotten?
They're about 120 feet in front of you.
Minesh would have followed Bertie to make sure he was okay.
I wouldn't follow so far as that I could get lost or separated from the group.
Yeah, you watch them start dodging within the tents, and they're pretty much scarpered, and you realise that if you follow them, you're either going to lose the group or get lost and end up turned around, and the last thing you want is for them to get the drop on you.
Okay, yeah, I head back to the group. Disappointed.
We'll get them, Bertie.
Yeah.
This pile of bodies, do we find anything? Is it just gore and mush now?
It's gore mush
Are you
bone.
just like digging through the bodies with your
You kind of
bare
poke
hand?
it.
Poke it with my staff, kind of like at the bottom of my staff, kind of poke it around a little bit. But
Anything valuable seems to have been stripped off them already.
Can I see if there's anything that looks like that's where the bodies have come from, or like what they're being? Are they just being eaten, or are they being used to make the
Roll a
creepy
perception
Dante
check.
things? 8.
8. You have no idea. These bodies look as if they were just dropped here from outer space.
what do you mean? Dropped here from outer
Like they
space?
suddenly just appeared as if dropped.
Right. Okay. So there's no like blood or
drag
anything
marks.
She
leading
rolled
here.
an 8.
Oh right.
Yeah, so that's what Bethilde's
right, okay.
interpretation of it is.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Bethilde looks at it, and it's almost like some giant god's hand deposited them there.
Nothing that
Can I-
looks like symbols of Pharasma.
Roll a
or...
perception check.
I'll assist.
Can I? I guess,
No,
yeah,
I
maybe
don't
like a
assist.
recall knowledge or something to see what this could possibly be for this pile of bodies, or is
Yeah,
it
you can roll an occultism check or
Yeah,
an arcana,
occultism.
something like that.
24.
24. You don't notice any symbols of Pharasma. What you do notice is that there's dried blood smeared on the cobbles outside. And Bethilde's looking around all over the place, but she hasn't looked down at her own feet. And you realise that there is definitely drag marks, both from where clothing or something metal has scraped across the ground, but also like metal belt or something like that is caught in between the cobbles or where they're not completely finished and left a furrow in the ground. But there's also this dried streaks of blood, which suggests that they've been dragged from somewhere north of where you are.
dirty 20 on my recall knowledge?
You think this looks like a larder, to be honest. You're like, well, you got a feeling they were probably flesh eaters of some type, seeing as the way they spoke to Bethilde, and you reckon that this was their larder. But
Okay.
it's almost like looking at a vivarium that somebody's been dropping insects into to keep fed. It gives you that kind of feeling.
I think our best bet from here is possibly just walk through the house and follow into the rest of the tents, making sure stick together.
I'd
What-
rather not walk through the house.
You can go back through the alleyway.
Yeah, I'm sure we can go around the house, can't
Are
we?
you going around the house, or are you going in the direction that the bloodstains are?
Yeah, surely the bloodstains, no?
I'm gonna walk. Zan's gonna walk through the back door then.
Mhm.
Okay.
You walk through the back door, you look around. What are you looking for?
You said that there's a kind of large amount of tents in the back area where
Mhm.
these creatures have since like running kind of hidden.
Mhm.
If I look is there anywhere which I can kind of vaguely make out of like, oh, they're more likely going to be going that way, like maybe an easier route or something, like more space for them, like a big group of them to hide in?
No, it almost becomes a case of once you move into the tents, the streets start to look very, very similar to each other. Everything's faded or torn or flapping in the wind. And even though it's a warm day, there's still that kind of the sea breeze is heavy enough that there's a chill in the air. But there's nothing that gives you an indication of where they've gone. You from the voice, you think he ran in panic as soon as he was hit by the vitality spell. So it probably realised very quickly that this guy can kill me, and ran.
Okay.
So it gives you an idea that they were likely cowards.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Right. I'll wait for everyone to come out then, and we can all discuss what we want to do. Because
Well,
are we going to follow through to the
source-
tents, or are we going to? Remember, right? There was a kind of like straight path which led up to I think where we are now. And last time we were here, we went off to a right, and that led us to the tent where the creepy weirdos were having.
You found
their
your way
sacrifice.
back to where the Mortics were, and then from there you've worked your way slightly further to the east. And that has led you out into this quad, basically, this open area where at the centre of it is this slowly revolving, rusted carousel with unicorns and other animals that are just haltingly following each other around, some of them missing parts of them, where they've either decayed and fallen apart or something's torn the heads off. But they just keep going around with this kind of squeaking noise as they're moving. But that is the only thing that's kind of, other than there's a few other buildings that look like they were meant to house either sideshows or some attractions, but they're either incomplete or just silent.
Alti, you have also been investigating. So where do you think we should go?
Well, I would be tempted to follow the blood trail.
What blood trail?
The one you're standing right beside.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yes, let's do that. Last time I followed a blood trail, I managed to find exactly the thing we were looking for. It nearly killed me, but those things happen.
It did kill you.
No, in the house when we had the breaking and entering instance.
I think she means
She
the
says
master
shamed.
of the house.
Right, okay.
Yes, I followed a blood trail. I found him and he nearly killed me, but we did find what we were looking for. So let's follow the blood trail.
But let's stay
did.
together this
We
time.
found expensive portraits.
Yes, but let's try to stay together.
They, you
Come
what?
along, Beauregard.
Beauregard slides along, and you just hear as it sneezes, and one bloodshot eye turns
Chances
and
of being stealthy.
Want to know the worst bit about that? His stealth is like 6 times higher than Bethilde's.
You all continue to head further into the fair. Roll a survival check to see if you can navigate your way through.
14.
17.
19.
10
18?
for
Mm-hmm.
10 for Bethilde, but I got a dirty 20 for Beauregard.
Beauregard's sixth sense kicks in. He starts leading the way. The rest of you moving towards the snail's direction, and you gradually start to follow this blood trail. It's intermittent. It's patchy. You get to one street and you can't see anything, and you have to take a moment to orientate yourself. But gradually, you, piece by piece, begin to find this trail of smears where somebody or something, those bodies most likely, has been dragged while it was bleeding. Eventually, you find a straight lane that runs directly towards what seems to be a large, mostly complete funhouse.
Ooh, what a good boy! This is Beauregard. Do you want to go and have
Your
some
voice
fun?
down.
What's that? I can't hear you. Stop whispering. Let's go have some fun in the fun house. That'll be nice. Maybe there's a clown.
Maybe we quietly go take a look at it.
Okay, you need to be a creep. Beauregard, just be nice and quiet.
Can you
For
ride
it-
Beauregard still?
Yes, yeah, I'm riding him.
Maybe, yeah.
Yes, and perhaps you be quiet
Let-
as well.
What? Okay, that's it, Beauregard. You have to go stealthily. Stealthily.
Before we head in, should we come up with some kind of plan of action in case we find anything in there?
Kill it.
Well, yes,
Yeah,
but...
you've got the action part down. Great.
Well,
What
let's
about the plan?
try to intimidate it. I mean, it seemed to work on whatever those creatures were.
We can't let them all run away.
Yeah, don't let them run this time.
Well, no, but all I'm saying is
You know, I
that...
can be very scary when I want to. Maybe I can talk it into submission.
That's it.
Probably.
Sometimes we don't always have to reach for our magics and our swords.
Yes, so maybe if I just give it a stern talking to, it'll behave.
I mean, perhaps the sight of Beauregard would scare it to death anyway.
Smell well.
I
Okay.
don't know what you're talking about.
I mean,
it's just delightful. Look at his
I'm
little
thinking-
hat.
Are you like
When is-
sliding off the shell?
No, he's still got like a little like saddle
Yes.
like harness thing that she's sitting on. He just looks on death's door like he can't believe this thing is still alive.
We got tuppence. We could, if we're gonna head into this place, we're gonna have to be going in. What I can imagine is a straight line, that one by one. So if we get tuppence to the front, because he can take anything that's thrown at him. If we keep specifically, I think Bertie somewhere in the middle, because whatever's here seems to take his magic more painfully than anything we can supposedly throw at it. So we keep him somewhat in the middle because he can also heal us. But then at the back, I'm thinking maybe Bethilde, purely because I don't know how to put you.
Well, I also don't know how if this is the plan. How if I'm at the back, I can intimidate them first with my steely stare. I think I should go up front, give them a good talking to.
You want to die
Alti
twice?
breaks across all of you at one point. I hate to be the bringer of bad news, but the cobblestones are moving.
Oh,
The what?
get off the floor. And I think
Is
I
there-
can...
It's lava.
Is there like a specific area? Is it everywhere
Flash
is
flood.
moving?
You turn around, and all of the cobblestones are gradually starting to move, crawling and worming their way out of the ground as they swarm around you and start leaping towards you. I need you all to roll for initiative.
No.
I had such a good plan, kind of. 16.
16 for Xander,
13.
13 for Bertie, Katarra,
I'm doing maths, hang on.
Minesh,
19.
19 for Minesh,
24 for Katarra.
24 for
Ooh.
Katarra, Bethilde,
11.
11. Tuppence is going to go on a 27.
Ooh.
Alti is going on much less. And the creatures are going on a 29 with a natural 20 for initiative. Right. the creatures go first. They are going to do their grasping bites and lunge towards you as they all start chittering at the same time. You're all in their space at this point, so they're going to make an athletics check and compare it to the fortitude DC of each creature in their space. So this is your fortitude plus 10, and that is going to be a 12.
Fail.
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 Fail. As in, like, they fail. Yeah,
They fail.
yeah.
Yeah. So they failed. Nothing seems to happen. However, then they'll use their final action to just pummel you, and I need you all to make reflex saves.
Oh.
22.
Success.
Minesh rolled an 8.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is a success.
27.
Success.
14 and a 15 for Beauregard.
Both of them are fails. Minesh, you failed. Was that an 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a failure, not a crit fail. Tuppence is going to succeed. Ulti is going to fail, and that is going to be 8 points of bludgeoning damage for everybody who failed, and then 4 points of bludgeoning damage for everybody who succeeded. That's the creature's go. It's Tuppence's go. Tuppence is going to swing at them with his sword, with his new short sword. He's going to hit. He does hit, and then he's going to do his.
So
D6.
when Beauregard would take damage, instead he just sort of like suddenly goes transparent.
Okay.
So he looks.
And it phases through him.
Yep, and it goes straight through him.
Tuppence slashes at them, does 9 points of damage, but you get the feeling that it doesn't all go through. He then attempts again, misses, and steps away from them to get out of the swarm. Katarra, it's your turn.
Okay, so how many creatures are there?
There seems to be a swarm of them.
It's a swarm, right? Okay,
Yes, seems to be a swarm.
right.
Or maybe 2 swarms. You're not quite sure.
Okay, in which case I'll try to do a twin feint. That's only a 17.
17 hits.
Oh, okay. That was the twin feint. So does that then?
So you need to make a second attack.
That is a natural 18 plus 9, which is 27.
That hits as well.
Okay.
Was that with your multiple attack penalty?
No, so minus
4 for the star knife, so it'd be 23.
Okay. So that is 7 points of damage on the first one,
Doesn't all go through.
and then 6 points of the second plus sneak attack.
No, you don't. Yes, you do get sneak attack because the
there's
second
twin
one's off
feint,
guard for
yeah.
it, yeah.
3 points of sneak attack.
The damage on the second. Not all of it goes through,
Right.
but you do manage to spear at least 2 of these small cobblestone-like creatures. They look like they've got the back of them looks like a cobblestone, but underneath they're almost like this purplish kind of fat worm, and they just sort of spring up at you and launch themselves at you.
I've got 1 action left, so can I try and do recall knowledge?
Go for it. You need to.
Using-
You can roll occultism or arcana, something like that.
Can I try survival?
No.
All right. Well, I've got 0 in both of those, so I'll just. No, it's a 2, so. Won't
So
go.
no, you have no idea.
Okay. That's my turn.
That's your go, Minesh.
So they're in swarms.
It seems to be 2 swarms. Yes,
Are they within 15 foot of each other?
they're right on top of each other.
Okay. I'd like to cast Timber, please.
Okay. Cast Timber. That's a reflex save from then,
It
isn't it?
is, yes.
That is 15, 23.
So 1 fail and 1 succeed. 5 together.
And Timber hits everything in a line, doesn't it? You think that's really effective. Okay. 1 swarm is looking pretty ragged at this point. It seems to be breaking up and darting in different directions. It almost looks like the remaining creatures in a panic. The other one's still holding itself together.
Okay, can I cast guidance on someone who's after me?
Xander's after you.
I'll cast guidance on Xander.
Xander, it's your go.
If, mechanically speaking, like from his spells and stuff, is the swarm counted as 1 creature?
Yes.
Or is it, yes, okay. Right, okay.
So maybe area of effect is better.
Area effect would definitely be better. Area effect would definitely be better, but the only one I've got is an actual spell, and I feel like I don't want to waste all the stuff so far. So I'll see how this goes, and we can go from there. I'm going to cast. Yeah, I'm going to cast Electric Arc on both swarms.
First one rolls a 13.
Fail.
Second one rolls 15.
It's close. No, it's not. Both fail. So that is. What is it? 2d4. Double 4, 8 points of electric damage.
8 points of electric damage. One swarm. The remainder of it just flops to the floor dead.
Yes!
The other one's looking pretty rough at this point.
Double 4, can't believe that. So, last action. You said the swarm is engulfed us, is that correct?
Yeah, but now...
one of them's gone.
Yeah,
Where?
one of them's gone. You're not in the swarm.
Okay. I will still get some more distance between me and the remaining swarm. So
Okay.
I'll just move out the way more.
Okay, it's now Ulti's go. Ulti looks at the remaining swarm and just casts Void Warp. That is going to be a fail. And then she is going to do 2d4 damage. For 7 points of void damage, the remaining swarm withers and just drops to the floor. And both of these swarms are dead.
Can I investigate the swarms to see if there's anything weird about them?
You certainly can.
I think
I
a
would
swarm
suggest.
coming up from cobblestones is unnatural.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I want to.
I would
Perhaps
suggest
getting off the path would be advisable.
So
perhaps letting the DM suggest would be advisable. I would suggest an occultism check.
Okay. Cultism from right.
So you know that you shouted get off the floor. When that happens, Bethilde sort of like taps Beauregard on the shell and says, "Oh my goodness, look at all these cobbles!" And he flies 25 foot up in the air.
What?
Wait,
My jaw
the
just
snail
dropped.
flies. The snail flies.
It just flies 25 foot up in the air.
Yeah, there's a pair of spectral wings that have come out of its shell and are just flapping either side of it. But the wings have got holes.
just like flies up in
They
the air.
look pretty withered. They've got holes in them and everything, and it's just
Like a kind of
I think it's
bat
funny.
vibes,
I think it's funny
like gross
that
bat
it's
vibes.
not even that explain. It doesn't have gain wings or anything. It just goes up.
Yeah, it just goes up in the air. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I've
But
seen
as you look closely, you can just about see these faint spectral wings, and you realise, oh,
I've seen a house fly.
This snail,
Latin sunset down everything, but I ain't seen a snail fly.
Please don't sue us, Disney.
They're already coming
That's
for
right,
us.
that's the one
It's
they
over.
don't talk about anyway.
They used to for a little while, and times changed.
I don't know what these things were, but the paving's coming to life now.
Yes, perhaps getting off the paving.
Okay, can I pick up one of the dead flies and put it in my bag?
Yep.
I guess.
Anybody else want to investigate these weird cobble flies?
not really.
Well, I don't have occultism or other things.
Ulti takes a look.
I can
Also
roll
waiting.
nature.
Go for it.
Bethilde! Bethilde!
Keep your voice
Bloody hell!
down.
What are you doing,
You can't hear me
Beauregard?
otherwise. How high up are you again, sorry?
25 feet.
What are you doing up there?
I don't go down. That's not what I meant. Not but bad snail. Bad snail.
Wait. Do you see anything useful up there?
Oh yeah. Do
Roll
I
a
see
perception
anything?
check.
10.
10. You see a sign staked outside the door to this funhouse.
That says.
You can't read it from this
Oh.
distance.
I can see a sign. It's like right there. She says, pointing at it.
That's a relief.
And then he's just going to sort of like slowly float back down to earth.
Without the spectral wings, your snail goes up. Like, I see a sign. It's there.
Yeah.
Maybe she's found Pharasma. Minesh, what did you roll?
16.
16. You think these were cobble mites.
Okay.
They're generally... they tend to hide themselves in amongst cobblestones and then usually feed on vermin. They're not usually an aggressive species. They're more of an irritant than anything else. And they tend to headbutt. They're a little bit like a swarm of hornets. They'll headbutt you before they use anything else, just to warn you out of their territory or their nest. But they're not a inherently aggressive species.
Okay.
Whatever's going on around here has definitely made these ones more territorial.
Okay, I share this information with the group.
So you continue to wander down this street, and it opens up into a space where there is this massive funhouse, a giant 60-foot long building with this pair of wooden doors in the front.
What does the sign say?
The
Now I'm a
sign,
bit closer.
as you get closer, says, roll up, step right through here. Your reflections hold nothing to fear. Come young, come old, let's hear you cheer as you face the house of glass and gear. And the sign looks like it was written in jagged strokes of a paintbrush and staked out here very recently.
Ooh, that's exciting. They're expecting us.
Which is a bad thing because they know we're coming.
It depends on whether they're good or bad. If they're good, then it's good because it means they might have a tea party set out for us.
What good have we encountered so far in this place?
The sign's been recently painted. Is it painted in blood or something, or is it
No, black paint.
just black paint? Okay.
It's jagged strokes of black paint, like somebody was almost trying to score the letters into it.
Yeah.
I choose to be optimistic.
I was
I
imagining
think this
Bethilde
is a
being
trap.
like. I was imagining Bethilde being like, maybe they're friendly. And it's like this sign painted with blood. Like,
Is there an alternative entrance?
You don't see one, you just see a front entrance.
How big's this building?
There seems to be 60 foot long, and you could walk around it, but this seems an obvious entrance.
We could take a look around.
any windows or anything, or
No windows, no. But there is a door and a porch. So there's a recess into the building where it seems to be there's a porch.
I feel like it wants us to take the door. We could just
Right, Beauregard.
take a quick look around before walking in the front door on this thing that obviously looks like a trap, or we could send the snail in.
I think it's sensible just to have a little look around.
probably for the best.
Okay, so you wander down the side of the building and get so far, and then you come about 120 feet long. You get to the other end of the building, turn, and there's a door which says exit.
Ooh. Big fan of going in the back.
Clip it.
I'm
Okay,
innocent.
Bertie,
I'm
this
innocent.
isn't the time or place for this.
I'm innocent. I don't know what you're laughing at. The back entrance, the exit. Let's go in the exit.
You want to go in through the back door?
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
One of you who's
How
walking
was
out
your
to the
time
back
in the
door and
choir?
pushing the door to try it then?
I think
I think
Bertie wanders up,
Bertie
pushes
is.
the back door. It's locked.
I can try and unlock it.
There is no keyhole.
Tuppence, get inventive.
Right, all right, I'll roll. Right. He walks up, hits you with his hatchet.
It's
and
me.
No, hits the door with his hatchet. However, you would have to duck immediately as the hatchet bounces out of his hand. It's almost like somebody had thought about the possibility of the door being smashed down.
I mean,
Is it like a magical...
maybe this is the gift shop.
Is it like a magical kind
It
of
looks
effect?
like, well, you guess, roll a perception check.
21.
You guess it probably only opens from the inside. It's the exit.
It can be broken down.
Force these, Jimmy. Just get
There's no sign of like a gap or a lock. You get the feeling that it's probably
it's
some form
perfectly
of
smoothly sealed.
perfectly smoothly sealed.
God, they were so much better than we are now when they built this thing.
I mean, it's not like we've there still might be fun in there. Like, I know you're all beautiful people. You don't need to be scared of mirrors.
We're not scared of mirrors. We're scared of what could be lurking inside of this
Scared
place.
of traps.
Yes, but we're very handy. We're a scrappy bunch.
You
we
do
can,
notice-
We all nearly died last time.
You do notice with your 21 perception that there is no sign of movement outside this back. There is no footprints. There is no sign that anything has travelled this way. It looks like this entrance has never been used since it was
so
created.
once you go in, you don't come out.
It's a fake fire door to keep the fire inspector at bay.
Talking of fire, why don't we? If you're really concerned, why don't we just set fire to the building?
I'm not sure any of us have.
And then if there's anything bad, it'll come out. But then it'll be on fire, so it'll be easy to kill.
Ulti
We
looks
are
at you
here
all.
for answers. So if
Ulti
we burn the
raise-
building down, the answers burn down with it.
Ulti raises an eyebrow, looks at you. But I was here to find some missing people, and I don't really want to be telling their families that a slightly senile old gnome with a snail set fire to them.
Slightly?
I was being generous.
I mean,
Okay, so we
I
send this.
suppose there are some holes in my plan, but it's either that or we go in through the front door.
Send the snail in through the front door.
Beauregard, what do you think?
Can you see what Beauregard sees?
No, he has eyes. I have eyes.
Yeah, but it's just like not some weird witch,
Can you not
Psychic-
see?
I'm not a
Psychic
witch.
link.
I'm a barmaid.
weird barmaid snail. Like you have such a strong bond with
I'm
Beauregard.
not sure it's a good idea just to send one of us in there.
I mean,
This is an immortal snail.
he is very clever. Okay, I can send him in. How about I send... he pokes his eyes through the door. Could he just, like, poke his eye stalks around the corner
Yeah,
of
you
the
could.
door?
So you're going back to the front of the building.
Yeah,
Or
that's
go back
You
to
wander
the
back
front
to the
door.
front of the building,
yeah.
wander up to the door, and you try to push the door open, and it's locked.
Can I try and unlock it?
Roll a perception check.
A perception, not a
Yeah,
thievery.
perception.
No, that's only a 11.
Anybody else want to have a look at the door? The main entrance.
I'll have a
I'm
look.
gonna have
Natural
Beauregard
20.
have a look
Okay.
at the door.
So the
Oh.
foyer in this kind of you step up into the porch into this
Who
portico.
said the door was locked?
Yeah, the door's locked. You step up into this porch. It's outside. It's portico. And the uneven flagstones are crisscrossed by smooth footprints, drag marks, and dark bloodstains. A pair of heavy wooden doors, without any obvious locks or keyholes, leads deeper into the funhouse. However, you do notice, etched into the wood, is a little rhyme. Roll up, step up, and pay the price. A handful of copper should suffice. And you notice there's a little slot in the door.
Who has copper?
We need some copper.
I'll chuck some copper in.
How much copper do you put in?
One for each of us.
Yeah, one for each. So
Oh no, you pay.
Don't
Second.
forget, you need to
Yeah,
pay
one,
the
two.
total for Beauregard.
plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
7 of you.
7, yeah. I was chucking 7 copper.
You chop in 7 copper, and suddenly there's the fissure down the middle of the door just splits open, and the door just slides silently to the sides.
Can we like wedge this open?
I've already spent the copper.
Yeah, but what happens- it's a mechanical door that we struggle
But
to
if we
open.
can't
If
get
we go
out?
inside,
I mean, what are we going to wedge it open with?
Oh, I'll do it. Tuppence pulls off one of his hatchets and wedges it into the runner that the door's on.
nice.
That'll hold it.
See, I like people that provide solutions, not more problems.
You provided the problem. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay,
Minesh
who's
is-
going in first?
Minesh is going through a bag to try and find something to help with this and realises she has a vial of Bethilde's ashes.
Oh my god. Not Bethilde.
How embarrassing.
I knew you had it.
Forgot about that
So
little
you
bit of
just
law.
like keep pulling things out, and then you sort of stop there for a second, holding this vial, and you sort of look at it, and then look at Bethilde, and look at it.
And then just
It's got
put it
like-
back
And,
in
and
the
it's
then
got
bag.
like-
everybody else kind of sees it, but Bethilde's just like,
It's got like a little
Shrugs.
picture on it, a little crudely drawn Bethilde on it with like your name written. So, ooh, put that back.
it's just Bethilde, and it's just got like a pair of crossed eyes and an unhappy face.
As Minesh shoves the vial back in her bag and closes it up, do you all walk through the door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
You all
going in
walk
first?
into the door. The snail goes first.
Okay, sweet.
A handful of magical lights flicker flicker weakly above a maze of narrow hallways, casting parts of the passengers into deep shadow. Dozens of elegant full-length mirrors hang along the greying walls, their dark wood frames carved to resemble rows of cavorting azatas. And for those of you who are wondering, azatas are like full-size fairies.
Thank you.
They're like entities that like love chaos and freedom. Usually associated with Desna.
Did you say these were statues or
Mirrors.
Mirrors. Okay.
Frames of mirrors.
Frames of mirrors. Okay. You're gonna roll perception check to see if there's anything hiding in the darkness or
Go for
something.
it.
Or yeah.
I'll join.
21.
30-20.
Beauregard, because he's up front, have a good look at what's going on. And Beauregard gets a 22. He's also
None
sort
of
of
you
stealthing.
see anything.
We hear anything.
You don't hear anything either.
These the Matildas,
Sim
mirrors. Do they fall floor to ceiling, or like could
the
we look over the
mirrors-
top of them?
The
Obviously not
mirrors
me.
are 7 feet high and 3 feet wide. The walls on which they're on are 10 feet tall, but the room is at least 20.
Oh, one of you long legs. Go on, give us a leg up. We'll look over the top, see if we see anything.
Oh,
Come on, Shorty.
just a minute. And I'm going to climb back on Beauregard, and he's just going to float a bit.
Oh, you can just do that as much as you want. Oh, well.
Yeah, so
Flying
Beauregard
snails.
floats up and looks over this maze, and about
Yeah.
60 feet on the other side is another door. So about 60 feet across this room.
Does it look like where that? No, because the exit door was like 120 feet. So it doesn't look like where it would be. Can I see the sort of map of it? Can I see anything else? Because I've jumped on top of him. So
It
I'm-
looks like the passageways seem to switch back on each other. So they're like it's like a serpentine line through the. It's not a maze, so to speak. It's just a
More of a
gauntlet
labyrinth.
of mirrors that you run through and then get to the far
But
side.
is there anything? Can I see anything else in there or any?
You don't see
or
anything in there
anything?
other than the mirrors
What?
and these weak magical lights that are hanging above.
Does the door look open or closed?
The door's closed, but it looks like it would be the obvious exit.
Okay, so I'll sort of call down. I can see a door. Let's just keep going. I can't see anybody else. There's also a door. It's just lots of mirrors and then a door.
Point at the door.
I point at the door.
I shoot divine lance between me and the direction she's pointing.
You burn a hole through the walls.
Nice.
You burn a hole through one wall, and it's a small hole about the size of your fist. And then you burn another
You can
one
see.
and another one, and you can see all the way through to a wooden door on the far side, which now has a hole in it as well.
Cool. Can I see anything through the hole?
60 feet. How much your eyesight? What do your halfling eyes see?
Is it a dark room in there? Is there an ominous
I
robot
don't think
stood
we're into
waiting to kill us?
photography.
The far side of the room,
So you see a bit through a fist.
the far side of the door is
120
dark.
feet away.
60 feet through this door, you see darkness.
Darkness, cool.
It doesn't seem like there's any obvious threat there.
See, it was worth asking. There's no threat. We can go.
Shall I go and have a look through the door?
Yeah.
So I'm going to float over.
You're going to float over 60 feet away from everybody else.
Yeah, over
Okay.
over
I
top of
think
the
we
mirrors.
should start going through the passages.
You start going
Yeah,
through the
we
passages.
run. Yeah.
towards
You
the
said,
door.
Start running
you said
towards
about,
the
you said about there being a hole through this. Can we just not go through the holes?
No,
to
it's
the-
only
the
tiny
size.
fist
Size, size of a halfling's
Okay.
fist.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah,
So I
you
thought,
blew a-
I thought
blew a
when
hole
they
with
kept
it through
doing.
divine
I
lance.
thought meant he kept doing it so that there was a bigger hole that we could
You-
get through.
The only way you would do it would take a while, and
Yeah.
the thing would be that the mirrors would start to fall off as well.
Yes, they
Point.
make lots of noise.
I want to smash the mirrors
You want to smash the mirrors?
so that we have a path of smashed mirrors that we can just walk across.
Oh, okay. You want to smash the mirrors and walk across.
I'm just following.
You're
the
just following the thing.
passage 'cause
As you
I'm not
follow the
very
thing, you
nervous.
notice.
I'll wait with Bertie.
You notice that each mirror just distorts your reflection.
Yeah, I'm
as you walk
moving
past.
as fast as I can because obviously Bethilde's gone like crazy.
You feel something scratch your back, like really scratch your back, as if it was trying to tear it open.
Okay, I'll turn around. What do I see?
Nothing.
Okay, is
I
anyone
need
else?
you to make a fortitude save.
I was going to say, did anyone else come with me? Because I thought Minesh was.
You never said a word, to be fair.
I didn't say.
That's hopeful
Look in the
thinking.
mirror. Look in the mirror.
You went on a suicide run. We don't have to follow.
It's a 17.
Fail. You are enfeebled 1. You also take 13 points of void damage. Bertie, as you shoot and smash one of the mirrors, you also feel something tear into your shoulder as you look up at these tinkling pieces of glass and see a shadow standing behind you in your reflection. And then it's gone. I need a fortitude save.
8.
8. That is a critical failure. You are enfeebled 2.
What does Enfeeble 2 do?
Takes 2 points off all strength-based abilities. And you take 8 points of void damage.
So I assume that they'd like cry out or something when they get attacked.
Yeah.
Minesh, you turn to look at Bertie, and as you turn to look at Bertie, something rakes its claws across your forehead, and you suddenly feel blood dripping down into your eyes. I need a fortitude save. As you take 9 points of void damage.
So I rolled a 5 You said fortitude, yeah?
Yes.
So 9.
That is enfeebled 1.
Oh, wait, no, 11.
11. You're enfeebled 1.
And what was the damage?
9 points of void damage.
And they're attacking from the mirrors.
Seems to be that something, as you looked into that glass, as you saw it falling where you shattered it, something was behind you. But when you turn and look, there's nothing there.
Time to break all the glass.
So I hear that, and I'm going to start to Beauregard, turn round. So we sort of turn round as we were floating away to go back, but we'll stay in the air above the mirrors.
Are you just skimming the top of the walls?
I'm above.
Above the top of the walls, or
Yeah.
you're not fully 20 feet in the air then? You're sort of like 12 feet up.
Yeah, I'm above the mirrors.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm like above the mirror height, so that I can go.
If Bertie saw kind of like a very quick glimpse of this, and he, I can imagine, would have told us what he'd seen, can I try recall knowledge, see if I can figure out what it is?
Yeah, and I'm assuming, did you share what you've seen? Yep. Go for it.
No,
you have no idea. But this place seems dangerous. As you glance up and catch sight of the mirror, and you see something standing behind you, does 16 hit?
No.
No. Something tries to swipe at you, but you move away from the mirror and keep yourself out of line of sight long enough that you think it missed.
Can I go
Thank
back to
God.
back with someone?
You back up against Xander, and you're like, what do we do?
Do you see anything?
Well, I saw one behind me, and I figure if we're both facing in 2 directions, they can't come up behind us, right?
That's more like back to shin, but whatever.
God.
Okay. Can I roll perception, see if I can see anything moving?
Go for it.
I think we should keep smashing the mirrors.
Bethilde, as you fly over, it is inevitable that Beauregard gets caught in a reflection because the mirrors are 7 feet tall and you're only 12 feet above the floor.
I don't know. I'm high enough to be going over them.
You're going over them, but he will get caught in a mirror. He gets hit,
You don't have to take a.
but he needs a fortitude save. As he takes 7 points of void damage.
22.
22. He is not going to be enfeebled 1.
But he still takes the
But he
damage.
still takes the damage.
I rolled a 10 on my perception.
You can't see anything.
Damn it.
Whatever's in here, it must be invisible.
So
So we keep
We have
smashing the
this.
glass then.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to put out an second.
How-
I'm going to second level heal myself.
Okay.
how big's this? How big's the hole he managed to make before we started getting attacked?
He smashed at least 2 mirrors at this point. But it's not exactly created a fine hole through the wall. You'd have to throw yourself at the wall to break through. But you reckon you could if you did it with enough force.
I'm gonna say this to Bertie and everyone else who's nearby. Bertie, do you want to try burst through the wall?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll
Alright.
help you as well because I'm
As you
I'm there
run
as well.
towards the wall, you run over the shards of glass on the floor. 23 to hit.
Hits.
9 points of void damage and I need a fortitude save.
Bad idea.
So when
Yep.
when Beauregard gets hit, he sort of like goes like
Okay.
sort of thing. So I'd have him. He'd go. Probably me and Beauregard would want him to go higher.
Yep.
So out what could potentially be danger, but heard Bertie's call. So I assume there'd be some kind of check for this. But I'm going to cast Bullhorn and start making an increasingly higher pitched sound to try and
Oh,
break
no.
the mirrors.
Please
So I'm like,
don't. No.
because I've seen someone in a pub
Oh
in my
my
pub once who once dared
no.
me.
Right.
They could
How many
break a glass
miles
to get a
is
free
Roll,
Bullhorn?
drink.
roll a performance check.
Yeah,
500
Bullhorn-
feet.
Yeah, 500 feet.
Katarra, what are you doing?
Rolled a 24 on my fortitude, by the way.
24. You're not enfeebled, but you do take the damage.
I'm not sure.
Okay, Bethilde, what was your roll?
25.
25. Okay, so mirrors do a fortitude save, which they do have a fortitude. What's your spell save DC?
18.
First mirror succeeds. Second mirror succeeds. Third one fails and starts to crack. Fourth one succeeds. Next one succeeds. Another one shatters.
What impact does this have on our eardrums?
Your eardrums, you all need to make fortitude saves.
Oh yes, so my spell attack, I suppose. I don't know, what would
You were making enough noise that they had to roll to stay together.
would be the equivalent damage, I suppose.
So it would this would be like 2d4 sonic damage.
So what's your spell DC?
18.
18.
Yeah, I got an 11, so that's a fail.
I failed as well.
23.
I succeeded.
Yes, a basic save, so it's half damage if you succeed.
Points.
5 points damage, 2 points for if you succeeded.
Can I? Okay.
Minesh, 24 to hit.
Yeah.
Need a fortitude save. And you take 8 points of void damage.
After that, roaring out in pain because my eardrums are aching. I've got a massive headache. I'm going to pull out and drink a healing potion.
Okay.
Can I?
That's 2 actions.
25.
25, you're not enfeebled. However,
I took
you're
the
all
8
beginning
points
to
of
realise
damage.
that this is coming from everywhere and you're not sure what its source is.
I'm going to do a perception check to
Go
for it.
figure out where it's
So-
coming from.
Okay. I've figured out where these things are coming from. They're attacking us. Do I need to roll to see if Xander's figured it out? Or
Yeah, roll to see if Xander's figured it out. Either perception, arcana, occultism, something like that.
23.
Okay,
23.
23. You both work out in different parts of this hall, but simultaneously, they're in the glass. Wherever there's glass, they can see you.
As soon as we're in the reflection, they can attack us.
This building is haunted.
Okay.
You think that you could do something to stop the haunts. However, so long as you're in this room, they will attack you through the mirrors and damage your reflections, causing you to have wounds. If one of you was to fall unconscious in this room before they had been dealt with, you think you would end up exchanging places with them in the mirror.
Right, because I'm on 4 hit points.
Can we leave?
You could walk out the same door that you came in, or you could attempt some check to try and disable the haunt.
Can I try and intimidate them?
You can try and intimidate them.
They'd be
Can
like,
I
go
try-
back to where you came from.
Can I try to, using everything I know about occultism, pull all of the unnatural energies of this building and the horns to try and relieve it from this place?
Go for it.
A 17.
17 doesn't seem to have any effect.
Can I see Katarra?
You can see her stumbling past the holes two hallways over.
Dirty 20?
Dirty 20. You think that there were 3 entities in this room. You think there are now 2.
Okay. Xander's going to shout out and give a basic description of what he's just done. And if there's anyone here who knows about occultism or these types of things, to also give this a try so we can each get rid of 1 haunt each.
Yeah. Minesh is not trained in occultism. So,
You could try nature.
yeah, I can do nature. That is a 13.
13. You don't think you've made any difference. However, Alti holds up a religious symbol. She pulls something small out of her shirt, holds it up, just high enough that it kind of, you turn, you look, she's finished, she puts it back, you don't see what it is, but one of the mirrors shatters, and you think there's now only 2 creatures in the room. You think there's now only 1 creature in the room.
Can I heal Katarra?
Yes.
So I do Healer's Blessing on her, and then a 2-action heal.
Okay. Xander, 26 to hit.
The hits, but not
healing.
critical.
13.
6 points of void damage, fortitude save.
Ask 14.
You're enfeebled 1. Were you already enfeebled? No, so you're enfeebled 1.
Can Minesh cast cornucopia, please?
Yes. Xander, you could try a second occultism check if you would
Yeah.
like to.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go for that. After kind of like finishing with the first one, I then very quickly then see what else I can grab whilst the energies are already close to me.
Go for it.
16.
16. The mirrors start to crack and split and then all of them shatter at once
Thank you.
as 3 spirits rise and dissipate at the roof of the building, and all of the lights go out.
The light spells, Xander.
Unfortunately, no.
Who turned off the lights? That's in Bullhorn, by the way. So I'm like,
Oh,
did
no.
I save you all? Is everybody okay?
Good job.
Can I?
Does anyone have a light source?
Can I?
I have a torch
Using
in my
prestidigitation,
backpack.
make a torch,
You
and then
could
using.
flick a little light out.
How big would it be like enough to light and people can see around?
Well, it'd be like a cigarette lighter, but it'd be enough.
Okay,
be better
yeah.
than nothing.
Okay, I'll just flick out a light and use my thumb as a small torch.
I'll use one of my torches from my backpack.
Okay, you pull out one of your torches and light it off Xander's flame, at which point you sort of stow the flame because you don't need to continue to do
Can
that.
we please stop running off? We need to stick together.
You ran off.
I ran off because Bethilde ran off again.
I
Hold
didn't
on,
run
hold
off,
on, no.
dear. I was
She
scouting.
left. That's her problem. You don't go that pissing off into the wilds to try and catch it.
Look, Governor, it doesn't matter. We're all alive. Let's just go to the other door before anything else happens in here.
Other door?
Bertie, can you heal me?
Yeah. How much can I treat your wounds?
Yes, please.
Minesh is doing treat wounds on herself. If anyone needs any healing, let me know.
I think I could use a bit more.
So,
Ulti comes up to you, Katarra, and she wraps a bandage around your arm where it got struck. You regain 13 hit points.
Thank you.
Xander, as you're healing me, Xander reaches into his bag, pulls out a healing potion, and gives it to you. Says, "Just in case you need it."
Oh, I'll hold on to it for you if you want.
You're the healer. You're going to need to stay up longer than the rest of us.
Bethilde and Beauregard are going to like float down, and Bethilde looks absolutely fine, but Beauregard looks exactly as awful as he normally does. But he has like a big sort of like gouge in his side.
Minesh gathers up some mud and tries to heal Beauregard, but nothing happens. Sorry.
He was making money. That's not very helpful.
How many times can you heal per day? Is it just just something you can do? Or
As in the treat wounds?
yeah.
You can do it once. Is that once?
You
No,
can do
treat-
treat wounds on a creature once per hour until you get continual recovery, and then you do it once per 10
And
minutes.
battle medicine you can only do once per day.
Battle medicine
Okay.
is once per day.
In which case, Minesh, can I have some more healing, please?
Anyone else need treat wounds?
And I sort of point at the now muddy bleeding gash on Beauregard's side.
That's 22 hit points.
Sweet, okay.
She's just smothering you in mud.
Minesh is taking mud out of a bottle that she's got and just slapping it
10
on and
healing
kind of
on him.
rubbing it in.
This isn't Bethilde, is it?
No.
What do you mean? Shh?
Oh, thank you, Bertie is looking much better. Well done. You're very good at sewing up wounds. There you go. What a good boy.
How is Tuppence and Ulti? Everyone else fine?
Tuppence looks okay. Ulti looks okay.
All good then.
Yeah.
So you
Tuppence.
weave your way through the Hall of Mirrors, realizing that it was probably was the trap you were expecting.
When we get through the Hall of Mirrors, all the spirits are gone, so we're safe and don't have to worry about anything. You said there's a hole through the door which led to the next room.
Yes, there's a fist-sized halfling hole, a halfling fist-sized hole.
Okay, if I can, okay, yeah. So can I look through the hole, but obviously a bit more of a distance, so I won't be able to see precisely what's in there, but just to see if I can see if anything is in there, like moving around or something.
Looking through the hole in the door, you think there's a 10-foot room, 10-foot by 10-foot room, and a door directly opposite you.
Okay. Am I still enfeebled? Is that gone?
You're still enfeebled at this point.
I don't trust this next room. I think there's going to be something possibly lingering around inside of it. I've got no basis for why I think this. I just do. Is there...
Was the door locked?
I don't know because if we actually got to the door yet.
You're all starting to get to the door, yeah.
Right, okay, so
Is it-
check it.
Yeah, roll perception.
Is there anything around which I could chuck through the hole to see if you can hear things reacting to it?
You pick up a piece of glass and throw it through the hole, and you just hear it go on the other side.
Are we going through this door then? And then Bethilde's just going to open
I'll
the door.
I'll hold on to Bethilde,
15.
stop her moving.
15. The door doesn't look like it's locked. It just looks like it doesn't look like it has a lock. It looks like you push it open and just walk through.
Doesn't look like it's trapped.
No, it doesn't appear to be
I
trapped.
think we should just go through and face whatever's inside.
You step through the door, and as you do, into the darkness beyond. That's where we'll leave it this week.
You can find us on your favourite social media platforms. You'll find links in the description below.
Thanks as always to Syrinscape for the amazing atmosphere and music. Make sure you check them out at Syrinscape.com. You've just got to be using them at your gaming table because epic tales need epic music.
Thanks for listening. We've been Epic Tales and Critical Fails.